in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah, where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here?
Hello and welcome back everybody to another live stream. Welcome back to Bit Trading. My name is AJ, one of the mentors here, and yeah, of course, we will take a look at the price of Bitcoin. We will take a look at what is going on within Bitcoin. We will take a look at what I'm doing in Bitcoin, and we will take a look at what I'm looking for next as well, i.e., those next moves, okay, and those next trades that I am interested in as well. I will try and keep it a little bit shorter today. I understand that it is a Friday. And again, you know, I have been repeating myself quite a lot this week because, yeah, we haven't really seen anything happen within Bitcoin, right? We've just seen this consolidation phase, which, yeah, is pretty boring. Okay, and it hasn't offered any trades really for me anyway. You know, like I was saying yesterday, right? I'm looking for those highest probability trade setups. So for me, at this moment in time, I haven't seen any other high probability trade setups. So the best thing to do right now is remain patient because, again, right, I'm in a good position. Okay, like I've been saying quite a lot this week, I'm in a really good position. I'm really comfortable with where I am. Positioned in the market, right? I do still think we are quite bullish. Again, I do still think that we can see higher prices. Okay, and of course, this is all, you know, what we're going to be talking about today. So yeah, before we jump into all of that, please make sure you smash that thumbs up button. Really helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this this content to you. Yeah, we will jump straight on into the charts, and we will take a look at what is what is going on. So of course, as you guys know, right, nothing has changed, right? Still long, still strong, still looking for higher prices. Okay, still looking for, you know, possibly $67,000, right? But we have been talking about a possible short trade from $63,000 because I understand that a lot of people will be looking at this consolidation phase right here as some sort of bull flag, right? We understand a lot of retail traders are going to be thinking of this as some sort of bull flag, right? So we could possibly see a lot of long trades opening up at the high that we're at right now. Now, if we take a look at XO charts and just see. Let's make it a little bit easier for ourselves. Let's go on a higher time frame and just see where we're at this moment in time. Okay, so we're not seeing a huge amount of longs actually open up here. Yeah, we're not seeing a huge amount, right? So we've seen 3.5 million up here. We've seen 9.6 million here. At the moment, we're seeing 7.1 million longs open up. I mean, there was 11 million back here, but let's just take a look at the 8 hour then. Yeah, I mean, there's not a huge amount of long trades opening up at this moment in time. And to be perfectly honest with you, like, I would, yeah, to trade this, to short this, I mean, there's 20 million down here, but it's not really on the breakout. I wouldn't consider. Well, yeah, I guess it's on the back test of it. Is it? Am I looking at the same thing here? No, so it's not. Okay, so that wasn't on the breakout. No, I didn't think it was. So on the back test, no, we don't really have a huge amount of long trades opening up here. So yeah, at this moment in time, I'm not really interested in a short trade. For me, if I was looking to trade this, I would have to see lots of trapped longs. So yeah, if we're not going to see these longs coming in, and it doesn't look like retail are really longing this. So for me, yeah, it's not something that's looking too likely at the moment, right? We had it planned, okay, but okay, if the plan doesn't play out, that's fine, right? We look for that next trade. And what it means, okay, is that if a lot of retail traders aren't longing this, yeah, we can actually expect it to play out, to be honest with you. It's where if lots of retail traders are longing it, that's where I would get a little bit more bearish, to be honest with you. So, yeah, if we see retail longing, we see lots of trap longs at the high. Okay, we form a trade entry trigger. Okay, we get that trade entry trigger. Then I will be looking to short this. But I mean, if we do not see that, okay, I won't be interested in shorting it. And then that's when I would be looking for $67,000. Okay, and of course, as you guys know, right, for any regular watchers of the channel, right, you know that I'm looking for that next TP. Okay, on the long trade at the POC again, which is $67,000. So, yeah, I've already closed, yeah, around 40, 45, 50. I can't remember what I took off of it, but yeah, I took, yeah, around 45%, let's call it, off of the trade. At that value area low, okay, at that value area low, and yeah, I've still got yeah around 50, maybe a little bit over 50% left in the trade, which of course I've moved the stop loss to entry, so it's risk free, and I'm now looking for a TP2 really at $67,000. I could walk away with $2,500 more profit here, and I'll be quite happy with that. But yeah, again, it's like I can actually see price coming a little bit higher, to be honest with you. I've been saying that for quite some time. I've been, publicly saying it here as well that, I am still quite bullish on Bitcoin in, this time frame, of course, right? Looking at it here, I do still think we can go a little bit higher. Now, of course, yes, I am bearish on Bitcoin, and that may come to a shock for any of you that, yeah, that don't watch me regularly. But yeah, at this moment in time, I have to be bearish on Bitcoin. Why? Because we're in bearish market structure, right? Stripping back all the advanced analysis, going back to the basics. Where are we? Right? Well, we're in bearish market structure, continuous lower highs, continuous lower lows. This is classed as bearish. So I am bearish on Bitcoin in this period. Okay, we zoom out. Yeah, I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, right? We're most definitely in a bull market. I understand that. Okay. But it's this period here where I have to be a little bit cautious. I have to be a bit bearish, right? Because, it has really played out for us. Okay, it has really, really played out for us. What have I been saying ever since? Well, for like 2 weeks now, right? Trade the trend until the trend ends, because the trend is your friend until the end. This is exactly what we've been doing, right? We've been shorting the lower highs, right? We've been shorting these lower highs here, okay, and then of course we've been longing these lower lows, right? We've longed all of these lower lows. All of the trades, okay, were of course given to the team in the Visionary Discord, as they always are. As you can see here, I'm taking the swing low. So yeah, any Visionary members here, you will know, right? I'm giving all of these trades away. Okay, and they know, right? They know that we have been shorting. We've been shorting these highs and we've been longing these lows. Why? Because that is the trend at this moment in time. Okay, it's really important to go with the trend. Okay, you need to adapt to the markets, right? You need to adapt to what the markets are doing, rather than trying to rely on the markets to adapt to you, because they will never do that, right? The markets are never going to adapt to you, and if you think that, then you're a little bit of a narcissist, right? So you have to just be able to adapt to the markets, okay? And that's exactly what we've been doing, right? We've been adapting to it, okay? We know that price is making these continuous lower highs. So what are we doing, right? We're looking for the short trade setup on the possible lower high. It's a little bit harder to do that than what I'm just about to say, which is the long trade from the range low, because it's much easier to spot a lower low than it is to spot a lower high. Why is that? Well, you can very obviously see when price is putting in a lower low. So it's very obvious to to determine that. The harder thing is to find where that lower high is, okay? Because this was a lower high. This lower high could have taken us to a new lower low. Did I short? I actually can't remember if I shorted that, to be honest with you. Maybe it was a little bit of an intraday short trade. But again, we came back up. I didn't actually short this one here. I did give the trade setup away, right? Like we're talking through in the daily market updates every morning, okay, about the setups, right? This was given on the 29th. I didn't personally take it. I was away from the computer at this moment in time. And I was a little bit frustrated at myself that I wasn't at the computer at that time to take advantage of this big pullback. But right, I'm experienced in these markets. I understand that, okay, there's going to be 1,000 trades in the future. And this is what I try and teach a lot here. Okay, is that, okay, if you miss a trade, fine. Okay, if you miss 5 trades in a row, then there's something wrong. Right, there is something wrong. Right, you are doing something wrong. Right, you're not, putting your mind into the charts. You're not putting yourself in front of the charts for enough time. Okay, maybe you're not setting alerts or something. Right, you're not putting yourself in a position where you can take the trade. Okay, maybe you're off doing something else, having fun. Right. For me, it's okay to miss a trade, right? I'm always going to miss a trade sometimes, right? Because, I have to sleep, right? Everybody has to sleep. So you're always going to miss a trade at some point, but that's fine. But if you're missing a trade, when you're doing something that you shouldn't really be doing, and instead you should be at the charts because your alert has been set off, okay, then there's no real excuse for that. For me, I was busy at that time, so I'm not kicking myself, I'm not punishing myself, let's say. But it's a little bit annoying, it's frustrating, but I remember, okay, there's going to be another trade setup. There's going to be millions upon millions of trade setups in the future, right? Missing one is fine. Okay, like I said though, if you're missing 5 in a row, 10 in a row, then there's something wrong there. Okay, but if you miss one, okay, that's fine. Look for the next one, right? And very quickly, okay, we saw a move down. What did we get? We got the long trade set up here. Okay, this was on the 5th. So, of course, gave that to the team on the Discord. So, the 5th of August here, I'm taking the swing long from the failed auction. That was the setup that we were looking at. And we'd been planning this trade for a very long time because, again, trade the trend until the trend ends because the trend is your friend until the end. We've been planning this, okay, because we knew that the trend was bearish, okay, and also that the trend was for price to take out the previous range low with a failed auction or a swing failure pattern to then see a rise up for another lower high, okay, to then have a short setup from there to bring that back down for another low. That's been the trend, and that's what I'm looking, at continuing to do, right? Trading this trend. So, of course, I've longed this, right? And I'm looking for higher prices here. But initially, right, I'm looking for another short trade, right? I am looking for another short trade. Why? Because what is the trend, right? What is the trend? Again, I've said this so many times already, I understand. But I'm just trying to imprint it into your minds, right? The trend is bearish. The trend is lower highs, right? So we can be looking for another lower high, right? The problem on a probabilities basis, okay, there's a high chance that we're going to get another lower high. Yes, I understand that this trend is going to come to an end, okay, but what the goal is within a trend, okay, is to take full advantage of the trend so that, yes, when the trend does end and then you do possibly take a loss, okay, not all of the time it ends in a loss, okay, but sometimes, the trend will break, okay, and, in this instance, right, for the trend to break, right, we would be looking for a break above value area high at 70K, right, for that bearish structure to be broken. Okay, at some point, it could do this, right? It could do this at some point. However, right, it may not do that at the same time as well because we could get another lower high, right? We could come down and we could just start the bear market, right? We could start the bear market and we never come back up to all-time high. So we never break the trend up until what the next bull market, right? But okay, sometimes, we have to remember that the trend will be broken, right? The trend will be broken. So again, thinking about it, right? I've shorted this one here. I've shorted this one here. Okay. There was the short from there. I didn't take it, but there was the short from there. So I've taken 2 of these short trades. If we come up again, okay, and we get a short trade set up, and let's say it's a loss, right? Fine, okay, I'm going to only take a very small loss in comparison to the wins that I've taken here, okay? Because again, risk management, very, very important. Right? Having risk management is a very, very, very key thing. A lot of people talk about it, Okay, a lot of people just brush over it, right? But it's something that you do really need to implement and really need to have in check in order to profit in these markets, right? And yes, it's just the trend, right? It's just the trend. So I'm going to continue to trade this trend, right? I'm just going to continue to do it because it's been working really, really well for me, right? It's been working really, really well. Why change what is working well, right? There's no reason for it. So I'm going to continue to trade this trend until it ends. And for me, right, the next level that I'm kind of looking to short is, like I said, that $67,000 level. Now we do have we can say like strong resistance up there. So we've got the POC of the entire range, of course. Then we do have a few naked points of control up there as well. So we have a monthly naked point of control, we have a daily naked point of control at the level. So yeah, I do like this as a level of resistance. So it's the case of, right, are we going to come up? Are we going to form like a little bit of a local high like we've done, here, like we've done here, like we've done here, get a bit of a pullback. Maybe we even get a short setup on that, okay, for a little intraday setup. Then do we come back up, actually take out that high, take out the liquidity, and then take out those major levels that we have, i.e. the monthly, the daily, and the monthly and the daily naked point of control, and then of course the POC of the entire range, okay, to then get that trade, that short entry trigger, okay, to short that down to where, right, a new low. It's the trend, right? So we'd be looking for that trend to continue, of course. So that is my plan, okay, at this moment in time. Those are the trades that I'm kind of looking for. And I'm favoring the move up, to be honest with you. I am favoring the move up still. Um, we are reclaiming, I would say now, we are reclaiming the value area low, which I would consider a bit more bullish as well. So this is nice to see because let's have a look at the previous times, right? The previous times we've tried to reclaim. Okay, you can see the first time we've tried to, well, not the first time, but the first time after the long trade that we've entered into. Yeah, here, this long trade, right? The first time after the long trade, we tried to break above it. What happened? We broke above it, but then instantly got accepted back below it. Okay, then what did we do, right? We used it as resistance, okay, and then we got a bigger move down. Okay, we kind of did a similar thing here, right, where we came up to it, we got accepted well, I wouldn't say accepted, sorry, but we broke above it. Okay, straight back down, back tested it as resistance here, another pullback. Okay, but we're doing something slightly different now. We're doing something very, ever so slightly different, where we've got above it, we're holding it as support here, and we're seeing a nice bounce off of it, right? So this is the start of like a nice reclaim. This is something that we want to see. I want to see long trades coming in, of course. We're not really seeing it at this moment in time. But yeah, this is looking okay. Of course, it would help if the stock market continued to have a rise, which of course, it is at this moment in time. Like it's having a rise today, which can only be good for Bitcoin. It can only be good for Bitcoin. Of course, we don't see Bitcoin follow it up all of the time. Unlike when we see the stock market pull back, Bitcoin just pulls back pretty much every single time. But when we see the stock market rise, we don't always see Bitcoin rise with it. But it is good if we do see the stock market rise, because then it does give Bitcoin a reason to rise. Okay, it does give Bitcoin a nice reason to rise. So yeah, for me, it is favoring the upside a little bit more. Okay, I am aware, right? If we do pull back, okay, I'm protected. My trade is protected, right? My stop loss is at entry on this trade. That is fine. I will realize $2,000. Well, I've already realized $2,000. I will lose the unrealized profit. Okay, but that's fine. I'm not losing any money. That's fine. Okay, I'm not losing any capital. So this is why I'm very comfortable with where I am, because I know that I have profited off this trade. There's no way I can lose. So I'm very comfortable with where I am. So yeah, if we do pull back, okay, fine, right? I look for a long trade setup then. Okay, I can look for a long trade setup on a pullback. Now, I do still really like the long trade setup from the GP786. We've got a naked point of control, if I can find them. There we go. We've got a naked point of control there, which is nice to see as well. And what we would be looking for the icing on the cake, the cherry on top, would be the absorption into that level, of course. So we would like to see absorption into the naked point of control and the GP 786 to get that long trade set up. But yeah, like I said, that's only if we pull back. That's only if we get stopped out at entry on the long trade. Where we are right now, I still consider this a little bit more bullish than bearish. Okay, so I still think we could see higher prices here. But again, we have to remember, right, this would be looking for higher prices up into a lower high. Okay, up into a lower high. We could pull a fib and have a look at where the fib is. Not really too interested. I'm not. Let's just double check before I say anything. Yeah, there's no. I was going to say, right, I highly doubt that there's absorption, and yeah, there just isn't. Okay, there just isn't absorption. There just isn't bearish CBD coming in. So yeah, not all that interested in trading in shorting this. To be honest with you, that wouldn't be a short. That wouldn't be a golden pocket or a 786 level that I'm interested in shorting. For me, it would be either, like I said, the short trade from $63,000 if we see lots of retail longs coming in, and then they of course get trapped, they get forced underwater. That's what I'd be looking for. If we do not see that, okay, then I'm just looking for $67,000, where again, I'll be looking for that short trade setup that I just talked about, right? So it's kind of the plan at the moment, right? It's pretty simple, but it's very, very effective, right? Very, very effective. And yeah, again, for the ones that have been following this channel for quite some time now, right, you will know how effective this is, right? You will know how effective, looking for those retail traders, looking for those big institutional traders, looking at where they are, looking at where they're getting in, looking at when retail traders are trapped. It's just so effective. And I would never ever go back to trading any other way. You know that I like to shit on breakout trading quite a lot. And I only do that to you guys because I just want to get that into, imprint that into your minds that breakout trading a breakout is a very, very unprofitable thing. Let's say a very risky and unprofitable thing. Yeah. Again, this is all personal preference, right? I'll be honest with you. I've never. I know other traders, okay, who are full-time traders and who trade full-time every day, okay, and this is how they make their living. Not one of them, okay, trades breakouts. And to be honest with you, I've not met a proven full-time trader who makes a living off of trading that trades breakouts. I just haven't met any of them. So yeah, for me, it's I'm not saying they're not out there. I'm not going to call anyone out, but it's just the reality of it. I've never seen it. Okay, and I tried it for 2 years. It didn't work for me. So I will never go back to that. And I will always trade against it. Always trade against it. Only when the setup presents itself, of course, because sometimes these triangle patterns do play out, right? They do play out. And to be honest with you, it's when the retail traders aren't actually trading it is when they tend to play out. It's when the majority of retail traders are trading a breakout. That's when it fakes out. That's when it failed auctions. That's when it swung value patterns, and that's when it reverses on them. And that's what we look for, and that's what we take advantage of course. Which is horrible to say. I understand it's horrible, but again, coming into these markets, what you have to understand is you're here for yourself. You've got to be selfish. And you've got to hate everybody else because you're out there to get everybody else's money. That's the aim of the game, right? It's part of the game. So yeah, you do have to be selfish, and I think about it sometimes. When I'm entering into trades, okay, it's like, I can visibly see these retail traders getting wrecked. Like even before that as well. Like I can see before they are about to get wrecked, and I can be like, okay, right, millions of traders are about to get wrecked here, and like you can visibly see that. Okay, not looking at trading view, not looking at candlesticks like this, right? Of course, you need to look at order flow, right? But when you're looking at order flow, right, you can anticipate, okay, and you can actually see when millions and millions and millions of traders are about to get wrecked, okay. And of course, it's kind of like, and you've got to gatekeep it for yourself, right? It's not like content like this anyway does get much exposure. Okay, it's normally the breakout traders that that get all the exposure, right? But because this is how us as humans are wired, right? We're looking for the easy route. Okay, we're looking for the easy thing. It's the same thing with trading, right? Everybody's looking for the easy thing, the basic thing. Um, you know, breakouts of a triangle pattern. It's just such a simple thing. Just a breakout in general. It's just such a simple thing. Which is why a lot of people are drawn to it, right? Because it is so simple. And yeah, um, yeah, the reality of it is, it's not that simple. It's not that simple. You do have to put a little bit of work, well, a lot of work into it, and you do have to learn how these markets how these markets work, and how and why these markets move. Okay, and like I won't go into too much detail because I did that yesterday. I went into lots of detail on why markets move, right? But yeah, when you're looking at something like order flow, you know why price is moving. Okay, yes, there may be a catalyst for price moving, a big news event. Okay, but at the end of the day, right, the reason why price is moving is always because of some sort of technical reason, right? Because everything is technical, right? All of these, right? Okay, this is technical analysis, right? These are real-time orders coming into the market, right? Real-time orders. And if you can read this, if you can understand this, right, and you can piece it all together, then right, why price is moving. Okay, there is a technical reason for price moving. Yeah, of course, there's always a catalyst with a news event, but then it goes back to the technicals. This is what's moving price, right? So, yeah, if you've got any questions, please do put them in the chat. I will be more than happy to answer any questions. Like I said at the start, I'm going to keep it a little bit shorter today because it is a Friday and I've been repeating myself a lot. So I don't want to get too boring. So, yeah, if you've got any questions, please do put them in the chat. Of course, it is a Friday today. I forgot to mention at the start. I'm guessing you all know. It is a Friday today, so yeah, I won't be live streaming over the weekend. I never live stream over the weekend anyway. But yeah, I will be back on Monday, of course. So yeah, we'll see what happens over the weekend. As always, I will be active in the Discord, okay, over the course of the weekend, right? If and when I'm needed there, and then I do the preparation for next week on the Sunday as well. So yeah, I will be, of course, active in there. If we of course see a big move on the weekends, right, I'll be in there, and I will be letting the team know if I'm taking profit. Let's say we come up to a take profit point, or if I take a short on the weekend, right? That's of course what the team will know instantly. But yeah, any questions, of course, please do put them in chat. Anything you want me to look at all, please do put them in the chat. But yeah, it's been very, very, very boring. Ever since we came up to this value area low here, what was it on the 8th of August? We entered into the long on the 5th. Okay, we got a really nice quick move up. But yeah, ever since we've really struggled with this value area low. It's looking good now. Okay, it's looking good now. But yeah, we'll have to see, right? It's just patience. But yeah, it's been very, very boring. And there just haven't been any like high probability long trade setups or even high probability short trade setups. I would argue actually there was one, I liked a short trade from here. I didn't take it. Yeah, so this was on a Sunday, right? So that will be why I didn't take it. But I did spot it on the Monday. Um, but yeah, I didn't take this. I was away from the computer on the weekend. But yeah, there was a intraday short trade set up there, which I mean, it played out, right? It did play out, and it would have been like a nice hedge trade as well, right? You could have taken some profit on it, moved that stop loss to entry, and then just have it as a hedged trade, right? Just in case we do go lower. Okay. But yeah, other than that, okay, there have been no high probability trade setups. And if you're simply like if you're being too basic as a trader, because I think you can be I like to simplify things. I think that I simplify things, but there's simplifying things and then making things too simple. And yeah, like, yes, right. I can see lots of people are probably looking at this as a swing failure pattern here. Okay, and then yeah, okay, you can or a failed auction here, and yeah, right, it's played out. There's been a long trade set up here. I'd argue and say I wouldn't have taken that long trade. Um, Reason being is because I didn't like what was going on down there. I didn't see a large chunk of the market getting wrecked. I didn't see a large chunk of short trades opening up down there. So for me, that wasn't a high probability trade setup. It was a trade setup. Was it a high probability trade setup? No. Okay, so I didn't take this trade, and like I said back down here anyway. I don't know if I said it on here or if it was in the daily market update for the team, but I remember saying that I don't need to take this long trade because I'm comfortable in the long that I'm in from $54,000. I just don't feel the need. Of course, I could add to the trade. I could enter into a new trade, but I don't feel the need to because I'm quite comfortable with how I'm positioned in the market, right? Um, yeah, again, like I'm comfortable with how I'm positioned in this market. Like, yeah, okay, it would have been nice if I built a bigger position, right? But again, it's going back to risk management. Okay, if I entered into this trade with a bigger position, right, I would be throwing my risk management out of the door. Okay, and yeah, again, it goes back to I am comfortable. Right? I'm comfortable where I am in the market, and I'm comfortable to just sit on this trade. Right? If we come back, get stopped out at entry, fine. Right? It was a profitable trade. It was good. Let's look for the next trade. Okay. If it continues higher, great. I can just sit back. I can relax. I don't need to do anything. I can let my money work for me. And yeah, I can take more profit. That's all I need to do. Okay, take some more profit once we come into that TP2 area, which is again $67,000. However, if we do get the short trade set up, I think I forgot to mention, if we do get the short trade set up at $63,000, I would probably close a little bit more of the long trade. I wouldn't completely close it, but I would close a little bit more of that long trade just because I understand, okay, a lot of retail are going to be looking at this as a bull flag. And yeah, if they're going to be longing it and they then get trapped up there, I'm looking for the short, then I'll take profit on the take some more profit on the long and look for that short trade. And the reason why I won't close the whole trade, even though I'm entering into a short trade, is because we may only come back down, okay, to like 56,000 to then go back up. It would be viewed as an intraday trade first of all, okay, for then maybe yes, okay, maybe it could turn into a bigger swing trade to go down to a new low, but I would be more looking for like the $67,000 level for then a short trade to take that to another lower low, if that's going to happen, of course, right? We may not see that happen, but that's just one of the plans, right? I like to draw out, different scenarios in my head, and it's probably actually a really good idea if you draw it out on a piece of paper. I feel like I used to do that. But yeah, at this moment in time, I know the plans in my head. Okay, but it's probably a good idea if you just write them down, right? Write out each scenario. Okay, if price does this, I think it's going to do this, so I'm going to do this. Okay, if price does that, it's probably going to do that, so I'm going to do that. Right? It's whatever plays out. Okay, and if the plan all aligns, right? If everything aligns together, and then you get that short entry trigger or that long entry trigger, whatever trade it is, It's you act on that, okay? And there's only a little window, okay? There is only a little window where everything aligns. So you have to get in. You have to get in. Hesitation is a big killer in this game. Hesitation is a very, very big killer in this game. I learned that the hard way as well, right? I've missed many, many trades in the past from hesitating. Okay, it's like, oh, I'll just wait a little bit more, wait a little bit more, wait a little bit more, because I'm scared to enter into the trade. And a big part of that is because I was either over leveraging myself or overexposing myself to the trade. So hesitation is a big thing as well. You only get a little bit of a window. Okay, you only get a bit of a window, and in that window, you have to snipe that entry. So and for example, right? When I took the long trade here, if I took the long trade, if I hesitated, took it in the like next candle, of course, I would have had a less of a good entry, and then you can see that price never actually came back down to that $54,000 level. You can't hesitate when entering into trades. And even if, because sometimes it does happen, right, where I enter into a trade and it's in a bit of a loss for some time, okay, and then we see the move, okay, and that's when, you think to yourself, oh, I could have got in a better price. But then what you have to think, okay, look at this trade here. I've entered and we haven't seen price actually revisit the price I entered into at. So hesitation is something that you need to eliminate as well. If you see it, everything aligns, just take it. Okay. Of course, you need to have it all backed up. You need to have the probabilities all the probabilities on your side. You need to have the statistics built up on it. You need to have a good strategy. You need to have a good trade entry trigger, okay, or series of trade entry triggers. I don't take the same trade. I don't use the same strategy every single trade that I take, okay? Most trades that I take are different, okay? Some of them are similar. I understand that, but most of them are quite different, okay? I'm entering into the trade with different strategies, different combinations of analysis, okay? It's never the same thing. If someone says they have one system that works for them, I find that hard to believe. I don't think you can have one system that works every single time. I think you do have to combine a few systems together, if you want to call it a system. I do think you have to combine a few of them together, and that's what works. Okay, because high probability trade setups, okay, they don't, using one strategy, they don't come around that often. But then if you're using different ones, then they come around a lot more. And I said this the other day as well. When I wasn't consistently extracting profits from these markets, I was actually trading a lot more. Now that I'm consistently extracting profits from the market, I'm actually trading a lot less. Significantly a lot less, which is really good mentally as well, because there's a lot less stress on it. I feel as well, a lot less stress. But of course, if you've got any questions, please do put them in the chat. If not, I will probably sign off in a sec. I've gone on a little bit longer than I wanted to. I did want to keep it short because it was a Friday and I've repeated myself quite a lot. But if you've got any questions, please do put them in the chat. If not, I will sign off, and I will hope you guys have a lovely weekend. Okay then, right. If there are no questions coming in, I will leave that there then. I will leave that there. So thank you very much everybody for watching. If you did enjoy, if you did find some value, please smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring the content to you. And if you are new, guys, please do subscribe. Turn that bell notification off so you never miss any of these live streams. I understand that this week's been quite boring, but normally it's a little bit more exciting. But unfortunately, this week's a bit boring. That's fine. I'm comfortable. I'm in a trade. So, have a lovely weekend, guys. And I will see you on Monday. Any visionary members, I'll see you in the Discord. and I'll see you in the daily market updates. So yeah, take care, guys, and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener.